Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I've got both Sherman and Slothy with me today. Sherman, how you doing?
Good. It's Chinese New Year, so yeah, time to celebrate. But
That's
how
fair.
you guys doing?
Are you doing anything special for it, or just
Yeah.
celebrating in general?
Celebrating in general. There's too much work to do.
It's Year of the Snake, right?
Yeah.
I know this because great on the holidays. No, I saw this morning. The Chinese New Year is always like a fun celebration for everyone, like that does celebrate, and they always do such cool stuff. And one of the things they did is a new Xeris. I want that Xeris so bad. And they're like, not for Canada. Nuh-uh.
No.
That new Xeris, have you seen it?
No, not yet. Put it up on the screen if you can for all the listeners. I'll look at it here.
Let me pull it up here, yeah. The Chinese New Year Xeris looked so cool. It's a regional only thing.
Yeah.
Where is it?
That's cool.
And the snake token's also really cool.
Yeah, snake tokens look dope. This is regional only? Ooh.
Yeah, it's what's the region that it's in? So it's only for Japan, China, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Korea, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. Australia and New Zealand are pretty strange inclusions in that list.
They're just trying to build more players there, right? Or a bigger player base, right? So you got to promote.
But man, that Xeris is so cool. That the snake is really cool. And then they have a special Lotus Cobra, Sakura Tribe, Cassetto, and a Forest. It looks like a wonderful, wonderful thing, and they're available at events for WPN, so they're really cool. If anyone finds one, give it to me. Give it to me, sell it to me. I don't care. Help me celebrate. You know what I'm saying? I really like playing Xeris. It's a fun one. It's I find Xeris is a commander that I don't reach for all the time because it kind of just overperforms. It's really consistent in what it does. Everyone draws cards. I make a lot of snakes. It's never failed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then I have like a brood, like Alter the Brood in there, and that's just always annoying. I should take that card out still. Yeah. But anyways, other than that, no, I'm good. It's been a good week and stuff. I finally have had a little bit of time to rest and everything, so I'm gonna work on building a few decks when I'm done this. And like I was saying, I have to go get a haircut because I look homeless. But no, other than that, I'm pretty good. And Slothy, what's going on with you?
Oh, not a whole much. It was a pretty laid back week. Did some driving, did some renovations in our welding shack at work. Couple of events that I'll tell you guys about afterwards happened at work this week, but yeah, other than that, it was pretty good.
Slothy found love.
Cool.
Yeah.
We have Aether Drift stuff coming up, and I truly just could not care less about a set. It doesn't look good to me, and it seems mean, and that's why I haven't really been posting the spoilers and stuff. But one thing that we all agreed on, even right before we started talking about this, is like, again, there's a lot of people who are going to like the Aether Drift. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean other people aren't going to like it. And it's just going to be like the Doctor Who stuff. People are going to make cool decks, and they'll be like, wow, that really is a cool thing, right? Not every Magic product is for everyone. I get that. But the weird thing about this set, the commander decks have nothing to do with the set in general, and they look really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're bangers.
Yeah, so like the zombie precon looks cool, like another 3-color zombie one, which is great. It's caused like a big like Varina spike as well. And then they made an energy one, and energy's not a mechanic in this set that's coming up. They're just like, here's more energy stuff because I don't know, for reasons, I guess. But a lot of people really, really like the energy stuff. So that's the commander we're going over. I think this is the face commander of one of those decks, right?
It's the second commander. So face one's the Healy.
Okay, yeah. So it's the secondary commander in one of the decks. But again, these these look so cool. If they want to push energy so much, because I think this is the third time they've given us something energy related. The Fallout, we had the it was one of the Masters sets or something, right?
Yeah, one of the
you had
Commander Masters.
Yeah, no, Modern Horizons.
That one, yeah.
You had the energy ones,
and then this one again.
Right, and this is going to be the third time.
People love the energy mechanic. Like just make a set that has energy. You know, don't just keep giving us random. Only that's the big problem. There's so many cool mechanics that they just haven't flushed out, and then they haven't, like the Foretell. Foretell really needs some more stuff. It's so cool. I loved Foretell. I loved I think it's Ranar's the Spirit. It's such a fun deck to play, that one. Dream Devourer should have been like a blue or white card. Don't know why it wasn't. But yeah, like they just keep making like energy commander decks, and you get like 10 or 12 new energy cards, and you got to like try and work it out. But it's fun. It's a really cool, like, it's spendable experience counters almost, you know? Yeah. Anyways, that's my little bit of a rant. Sherman, do you want to tell us what commander we're actually working with? Let me pop it up here.
I'll do that in 1 second. First, we got to do some things here first. So I'm going to give a quick shout out to our patrons here.
Woo!
Okay. So patrons we have here are going to be Tanner, Cherry, Matthew Keener, Scott Armstrong, Frank, and the person that's in here with us, listening to us talk, is Thunder Emperor Commander. So we got to thank all you guys for supporting us every single month.
Yeah, we really
and at the same
you go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you.
I was going to say, at the same time, we are going to hit our sponsors here.
Yeah. So we have our houseofcards.ca for any of the cards you might want from this episode, or really any episodes. Promo code IT99 is going to give you a discount. They have great stock of everything. Maybe they'll have a Xeris for me on a discount. I'll use my own discount. Promo code IT99. It's going to get you a 5% off of anything. List-wise, no sealed, sadly. Sealed would be great. I gotta bug them for that too. It'll never happen. But yeah, houseofcards.ca is just wonderful. They're great people to work with. They have great service, great shipping, and yeah, I really like those guys. They've been wonderful to us. So always go check them out whenever you're able to. They're awesome. On top of that, AI Armor Sleeves just continues to impress me with their new designs. Their guild ones, like I keep saying, are just wonderful, phenomenal ones. So go check them out, aiarmor.com. And they're just a great place. No promo code on that one. They're just great. I just enjoy them. That's it. Yeah.
All right.
And again, really quickly, thank you everyone for supporting us on Patreon. It is very nice. That's the main place, because it really does help us out to like continue making content. And if you don't support us there and you don't want to come chat decks with us, that's okay. That's okay. But at least like, share, subscribe. It really does help out. I always say that at the end. Yeah, do it, you animals. That's it.
Okay. On to the topic. So I was debating back and forth on what to do here, because first I want to do Captain Howler, Sea Scourge, because in the Discord, chatting with Hans there, we're talking, like, going through his deck, and he had a discarded one. I was kind of want to do that, and then they dropped the commander sets, and the Hashiton just took over.
Yeah, that's all anyone wants to build, it seems.
Yeah, so I'm like, you know what? Let's go the other direction, because not many people enjoy vehicles. I'm one of the few that does enjoy vehicles. So I looked at the commanders, and we're going with Pia Nalaar, Chief Mechanic. So Pia Nalaar is a green, blue, red. So it's a teamer, right? Legendary creature, human artificer. It's a 2/4. Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, you get 2 energy. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay one or more energy. If you do, create an XX colorless vehicle artifact token named Nalaar Etherjet with flying and crew 2, where X is the amount of energy spent this way. Now, we're going to have some vehicle shenanigans, not much, but we're going to have some. Yeah, so it's an interesting commander. I can tell you right now, when Pia comes out, we want to stockpile energy. We're going to be like a capacitor or a battery, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter. We're just going to stockpile it. But every end step, we're going to put one energy into making one vehicle that's a 1-1. I don't care that we have an excess of 5 or 6 or anything. We are just going to create a 1-1. Sometimes we might create a 5-5, but most likely that will happen after a board wipe.
Well, you kind of, it seems you want to play this a little bit like Rigo, where you really want to hit every player once a turn.
No, you don't.
Oh, you don't?
Because you only get 2 energy. Even if I hit 3 people, I still only get 2 energy.
No. It's whenever one or more artifact creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, so you can get it 3 times a turn, 6.
When one or more artifact creature tokens. So my understanding is when one or more artifact creature tokens.
That's one or more 2 players.
Even if 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we can do that. So, but
I would just.
For the most part, we just want to. Yeah, we just want to. We want to get as much energy as we can and just hold it, because we're gonna do explosive plays, but we need a lot of energy, and this deck is mana hungry.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the energy stuff comes down, and once it's on the table, if you have that energy to pay, it's immediately a problem.
Yeah, it can be. So, but like most of the energy cards out there are like, for like, let's say creatures, they entered, you get like 2 energy. If you spend 4, you get this, not blah, 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 blah. I try to avoid those. I don't want those. Okay. All you want to do is be like like the Ford company here and make a bunch of vehicles. Cheap vehicles. They're 1-1s, like crazy. I want a bunch of them. I want 20 of them if I can get them. So.
Fair. Yeah. Do you want to start with our artifacts here?
Yeah, let's start with artifacts here. Let's go in order.
All right. I'll take our first one here. We have Aetheric Amplifier. It's 3 mana. Add 1 land of any color, which is a great rock cost. 4 and a tap, you choose one. Activate only as a sorcery. Double the number of each kind of counter on target permanent. Double the number of each kind of counter you have. It's phenomenal. That is really, it's a great card. Atraxa decks are going to love that, and then any experience counter deck is wonderful. Any counter deck, honestly, that makes it really easy to pull off, like Simic Ascendancy wins. Really fast. Yeah. Anytime they have the word double in a card, you generally know it's gonna be good.
Slothy can pull off his Strixhaven Stadium win faster.
Yeah, that's actually true.
No, the only problem is that it requires 4 mana to activate for that ability. Like I said, this is a mana hungry deck.
Fair. You next, Slothy.
Yeah. Next up here, we've got the Aether Sphere Harvester. 3 mana for a 3/5 vehicle with flying. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. You can pay an energy to have it gain lifelink until end of turn, and it has crew 1.
It's solid.
Yeah, so like it's solid. It's a crew 1. It's a 3/5, so it had a big butt. So it'll save our butts for a little bit from time to time. Give us a little life, and like it's just the fact that it's easy to crew. We really, really like this, and we get some energy. And if we spend it, we get lifelink. It's just a bonus.
Well, yeah, that's a great blocker too.
Yeah.
And a blocker that's gonna the fact that you can block, gain life. A 3/5 flyer at crew 1/2 is pretty good.
It's really, really solid. So next one we have here is Aetherworks Marvel. For 4 mana, legendary artifact. Whenever a permanent you control is put into a graveyard, you get an energy. Okay, so hopefully that happens a fair bit here. If we tap it and pay 6 energy, we look at the top 6 cards of the library. You may cast a spell from among them without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Now, whether we do this or not, it's probably going to be for emergencies. But like I said, we want to stockpile the energies and just do an explosive turn. Okay.
Yeah. Like I was saying with your commander, even just at the 1/1 strategy, you could do this every turn now. And this is like a different casting speed too. So you could actually get a lot of your like you could blasphemous act at instant speed in this, and your vehicles are safe. Ugh.
Pretty much.
Ugh.
Because there's no timing restrictions on it. So
yeah, no, that's I like the vehicles. They are cool for that. This looks like the new Arcane Signet, which is really cool artwork. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity, just for 2 mana.
Yeah, this Arcane Signet's for the commander set. The Arcane Signet in the other one for the zombies is a different one.
Yeah,
different
it's the Amonkhet one, I think.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Baton of Morale, 2 mana. You can pay 2 to have target creature gain banding until end of turn.
I love this.
So we need a defense. Okay. So this deck we haven't reached it yet, but it's gonna try to pump out 1/1 Thopters. Okay. The problem with 1/1 Thopters is they're not strong. So you will be chump blocking a lot. The Baton gives banding, and that makes it harder for people to attack you. So let's say someone has like a 6/6 and they're coming after you. Okay, I will block with 7 Thopters. I'll give one of them banding, and I will choose all 6 damage that your creature does to one of the Thopters. You just lost a 6/6, and I still have a bunch of Thopters. That's all we want this for. Will we use this for attacking? No. We just want this for defense.
Well, banding's also a good anti-trample mechanic, because you just choose, all right, you deal 6 damage to this. You deal your 50/50 trample, you assign it all to my creature.
Yeah.
You really want my Thopter dead.
One of the things. Okay. This next card is one of the new ones from, I think this first came out in one of the in the Fallout. No, not Fallout.
The Modern Horizons one.
Modern Horizons. Sorry.
Yeah, the Modern.
It was in Modern Horizons.
Yeah. So it was bespoke battle wagon for 3 and a blue artifact vehicle 5/6. You can tap it to get 2 energy. You can tap it to pay 2 energy and tap target creature. You can tap it, pay 3 energy, draw a card, or you can pay 4 energy, and this vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. And it also has a crew of 4.
I like that. That's a lot of utility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot of utility. We're going to use the first ability as much as we can. Okay. Chances are we'll probably use the draw one from time to time, but once again, we want to stockpile the energy as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, it's nice too that you can just consistently make it like just an energy accumulator, right? You save it, and again, if somebody does 5/6 that you can turn into, even tapped down into a creature at 4, kind of scares people off from attacking you a bit.
Yeah, it's nice. It has nice utility. Very nice utility for it.
We have a Biden of Thassa, 2 double blue, legendary enchantment artifact. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. Add 4, 1 in the blue. Creatures your opponents control attack this turn if able.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun card. So remember, like this combined with like banding is annoying because people are iffy attacking you, so they might attack someone else, which is nice. And card draw. Hey,
mm-hmm.
Can't hate that.
Next up, we've got the Brotherhood Vertibird, 3 mana for a star 4 artifact vehicle with flying. Its power is equal to the number of artifacts you control, and it has crew for 2.
That could be a problem late game.
Another reason why we just want to pump out those vehicles from our commander. We don't care they're 1/1s. We just want to pump them out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Next one here is Chromatic Lantern for 3 mana artifact. Lands you control have tap to add 1 mana of any color. You tap it to add 1 of any color as well. So we might have some troubles with the colors because we're in 3 colors and we're going through them fairly evenly. So this is going to help us quite a bit. Normally, don't put this in, but one, it is part of the commander set. 2, we really do need a color fixing here.
I feel like this card just kind of fits in all 3+ color decks.
It's at its worst, it's still a nice rock, right?
Yeah, at its worst, it's still an arcane signet.
Well, and it also
Yeah.
it does turn a lot of like your maybe you're late game, you're running just Terramorphic Expanse. You don't need to fetch for another land. You can just tap that for mana now.
Yeah.
So the artwork on it's very cool, and so is the flavor text. The Omen Path didn't just open portals to other worlds. It opened the eyes of many inventors who had been thinking too small. I wish they did that at Wizards with the lore. I haven't looked at the spoilers. I'm sure there's Kellen and a race car somewhere. Okay, we have a Mean Clock of Omens. Don't like to see that, Sherman. 4 mana. You can tap 2 untapped artifacts you control, untap target artifact. That's pretty cool.
Remember, it's me. I am not running any infinite combos in here. I triple checked.
You are not, though. If you're pumping out these 1/1s and you can be power untapping your bespoke battle wagon, I know you like utility. I'm watching
exactly. So, like, we gotta use vehicles for other means other than making them into creatures and attacking, right? So we're gonna use it as a resource. All right. If we're gonna pump them out, we might as well have them tap and untap things, and Clock and Omen helps us with that. That's why we want to just put the 1 energy in just to make the 1/1 vehicle. We don't care.
Yep.
Next up, we've got Consulate Turret. 3 mana. You can tap it for an energy. You can tap it to pay 3 energy to have it deal 2 damage to target player.
It's not bad.
That can actually kind of kill someone out of the blue. So
yeah, having a shock on a stick is cool.
Having a shock on stick is cool. Having a shock on stick when you have the Clock and Omens and you have a bunch of vehicles that can untap the thing and you're stockpiling energy, you can do 10 damage easily.
Yeah, that's true.
So late game, this actually does matter.
Could be a bomb.
Early game, not so much. We're just making energy. Late game, it does matter.
Well, but if the point of the energy strategy is to make energy, then it's still good at every point. It still should be dealt with. Otherwise, you're just every time you can untapping it and getting energy.
Yeah. So yeah, it's still a nice card. I think my turn's next. I talk a lot. Sorry. The next card is the Decoction module. Is for 2 mana. Whenever a creature you control enters, you get an energy. You can tap 4, you can tap it. Return target creature you control to its owner's hand.
That's really solid to be able to get the 1 that you're spending for the vehicle back immediately.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. We have a Fabrication module for 3 mana. Whenever you get 1 or more 1/1 energy counters, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, which is good. That can you have a lot of energy counter in here. For your commander, you can even just make your commander 6 bigger every turn and then scare everyone at the table, right? Like that. You're an energy deck. You don't want this on the board. Then 4 and a tap, and you get an energy counter. Again, it's a high cost, but it's still just something to sink our mana into if we have extra left over.
Yeah, like I said, mana hungry deck. Mana hungry. Does not care.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that makes it my turn. We've got the Gonti's Aether Heart. 6 mana for a legendary artifact. When Gonti's Aether Heart or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you get 2 energy counters. And you can pay 8 energy counters to exile Gonti's Aether Heart and take an extra turn after this one.
Honestly,
Yeah.
just even that
So people-
energy, the ETB effect is a monster.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
will
you'll-
only use the extra turn in emergencies.
Yeah, to try like either a game ender or again like I have to deal with this problem now kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but when you cast this and it's on the battlefield, you're pretty much like telling everyone you will be a potential problem or you are the target. It is really dangerous.
Short of running a Krosan grip though, right? If you try remove this, they're gonna take the extra turn and try do something back.
Yeah. So, on the next card here, we have Inspiring Statuary for 3 mana. Non-artifact spells you cast have improvise. Once again, we're going to use those vehicles for something else. We don't have to attack with it. We want to use it as a resource.
Yeah. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the improvise is cool. It turns all of these into just paying for every other spell in the deck. Is it Generatorium? Is this a new one?
This was Modern
From,
Horizons 3.
Modern Horizons 3.
Okay. It's just is it 1 blue, 1 red? If you get 1 or more energy counters, you get that many +1, which is just phenomenal for a deck like this. Then you can pay, draw a card, activate only if you've paid or lost 4 or more energy counters this turn. So again, it's just an extra. It's a hardened scales for our energy counters, which is cool, and it's a draw for when we're spending them.
Yeah. So I think this deck has something like 20-ish draw cards, but of those 20, only like maybe 6 or 7 are actual I would consider card draw. The rest of them are like you have to do something in order to get the card draw, like attack someone and deal damage or something like this. So we can potentially draw a lot of cards, but at the same time, we probably won't.
Yeah.
So,
Next up here, we've got the Phyrexian Ironworks. 2 in a red. Whenever you attack, you get an energy, and you can tap it to pay 3 energy to create a 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token, activate only as a sorcery. We have made a friend today, Slowbad Iron Goblin.
True.
I like making friends.
Yeah. Who doesn't like a good friend, right?
Exactly. That's why we play this game, right? Make friends.
Yeah.
All right. We get a Soul Ring. So 1 mana, tap to add 2. We need the Soul Ring just because.
Yeah. Again, you're mana hungry, right?
2 mana. Yeah, it's a mana hungry deck. We need it.
Our last one here is Solar Transformer. Speaking of friends, by the way, I was going to say really quickly, sorry to interrupt this. A lot of people reached out about cool Rego suggestions, and I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, it's just it is nice to like remember that that we're always talking to cool people with cool ideas. And one of them, like someone suggested the new Tameo, and I don't play the new Tameo in anything. And I was like, well, that's really cool after I read it. So like new Tameo is a great suggestion. The Hans deck had some really, really cool ones. It was what was it? It was something in Trancer. If they block it, you gain control of whatever creature blocks it. So it becomes a pseudo unblockable. This a lot of really cool, like everyone who gave me Rego suggestions, I appreciate it. So back to the slowback quote. We have made friends today. All right, now back to this. Solar Transformer, 2 mana. Enters the battlefield tapped, hate it. When it enters, you get 3, love it. Adds 1 colorless as a tap, phenomenal rock. And you can tap, pay 1 energy and add 1 mana of any color. This is great. This is a great card. We don't hate it anymore. The enters for 3 is really good.
Yeah.
Again,
Mana?
this is I assume this is from the deck.
No, this one's from Modern Horizon 3 again.
It's a shame because I would pick up a bunch of these.
This one was in the deck as well.
No, but I was saying, is it the original? Like it doesn't have a main printing somewhere is what I was getting at. Because this would be a great rock. I really like playing the I really love to play the diamonds, right?
Mhm.
And this would be just a phenomenal diamond upgrade because it's coming in the same kind of way and giving you like 3 counters, kind of like the Vivid Orchards kind of thing. That's a very, very cool rock. Are we on to creatures here? Are we just going straight down the list, Sean?
Straight down the list. I'm a simple man.
All right, you take us away.
All right. So we have an Architect of the Untamed for 2 and a green. Elf Artificer Druid. It's 2/3. When a land enters the battlefield under your control, you get an energy. You can pay, 8 energy? I think it was. Yeah, 8 energy. Create a 6/6 colorless beast artifact creature token.
Yeah. That's a very cool energy sink.
Yeah. Like I said, we want to stockpile the energy.
Well, again, even just passive landfall energy is great.
Yeah.
Energy everywhere. Have you named your deck?
Not yet.
Well, it's named Energy Everywhere now.
I'm bad with names.
If
I had a kid, I would be like, your name's Kid.
You have a kid, you jump in the Discord,
unique.
we do an episode on it. I name the kid.
There you go.
You take us away here, Slothy.
Ooh, switching up the order. Sweet. We got Curiosity Crafter, 3 and a blue. Oh, it is a 3/3 for a bird wizard with flying. You have no max hand size. Whenever a creature token you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
I love that card so much.
It's so good. It's so good.
We have the fastest Ginger Brute alive. 1 mana for a 1/1 food golem haste. 1 mana, can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with haste, so great way to get through and trigger that commander. Pay 2, sack it, you gain 3 life. It's a food.
Yeah. Nice thing can save our butts.
It's also just fun to start the game and just start wailing on people.
Oh, yeah.
Ideal turn 1.
Turn
1. Land, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, bash you in the head with Ginger Brute. I've made an enemy for life with that play.
Oh, yeah. Explosive plays there, man. That's all we're focused on, explosive plays.
Right.
Okay. We have a Jaheira, Friend of the Forest, for 2 and a green. Legendary creature, human elf druid. It is 2/3. Tokens you control have tap to add a green mana. Has choose the background, but we don't care.
Yeah. Again, turning all your little Thopters into mana dorks is cool.
Yeah. And all of our vehicles, like I said, we just care about them being 1/1. We don't care if they're 2/2s, 5/5s, all that stuff. We just want to pump them out as much as we can. As we're pumping them out, this comes out, they all become mana dorks as well. So, yeah.
Then we've got Kappa Cannoneer, 5 and a blue for a 4/4 artifact creature, Turtle Warrior. Has Improvise and Ward 4. Whenever Kappa Cannoneer or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Kappa Cannoneer, and it can't be blocked this turn.
I know Blastoise when I see Blastoise.
Right.
It's such a cool card. I wish this was a legendary.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
The card has personality. I love it.
You own a Sharpie, do you not?
I do. No one can read my printing, but I do own a Sharpie. We have Leonardo da Vinci, one of the ones that I was actually going to build today. It's very, very cool. It's a cool inclusion. 2 and a blue for 3/3 human artificer. It has 3 double blue. Until end of turn, Thopters you control have base power toughness XX, where X the number of cards in your hand. That's rough. That's a rough ability to have to deal with. And 2 and a blue, draw a card, discard a card. If the discarded card was an artifact, exile it from your graveyard. If you do, you create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 0/2 Thopter with flying in addition to its other types.
Such a cool card.
It's so cool
Yeah.
to cheat out cool things.
So interesting.
It's really funny to like in the deck I have a Blightsteel because I want to throw Blightsteel away so I can have 0/2 Blightsteels just to threaten people.
Yeah.
Don't test me.
You better not let me get 10 cards in my hand.
Yeah. Wail on people for 0 infect damage. Let that be a lesson.
There you go. All right. We have a Loyal Apprentice for the next card. It's a 1 in a red. It's a 2/1. Human Artificer. It has haste. It also has Lieutenant. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, you create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. That token gains haste until end of turn.
Yeah.
Solid.
You want our Thoptops?
Next up, we've got Nick Valentine, Private Eye. 2 in a blue for a 2/2 legendary artifact creature Synth Detective. Nick Valentine can't be blocked except by artifact creatures. Whenever Nick or another artifact creature you control dies, you may investigate.
Yeah. I like it. This
Yeah.
next one is a new card, I'm assuming, from the decks.
Yeah, it's in the commander set.
Mhm.
Aether Drift Commander. I would build this as just a commander. This is I like landfall in anything I can, right? We have Nissa, World Soul Speaker. 3 and a green for a 3/3 legendary creature elf druid. Whenever a land you control enters, you get 2 energy counters, which is cool. And you can pay 8 energy rather than pay the mana cost for permanent spells you control. I understand why they dumped that like permanent spells, because you don't want someone to be able to pay like pay into like a primal surge, you know, at 8 mana. Like you want to keep it a little reasonable, but there's still a lot of really cool permanents that you can dump out with 8 mana, especially because a landfall deck already has mana, right? So you can just go like big stuff, pay for it in the first place, and then pay for another big stuff thing with your land. It just seems like a fun commander to build.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. I got nothing bad. Again, the commander stuff seems really cool. And then everything else is like, start your engines. And it's, I'm not into it. I don't know.
Max speed.
I'm hating. Generational hate.
I have to play around with it before I can judge it, though. Like, I don't like it now, but if I play around with it, I might enjoy it. So we'll see.
Again, I know someone's going to show me a really cool deck and a really cool idea, and I'll be like, wow, that's great. But I lack the creativity to be excited about it so far.
The key for that is just the fact that it's forcing you to do damage on your turns, right?
Oh, I know. It's so
it takes a.
How are you going to name a mechanic max speed and make it so slow?
It's at least 3 turns, right? The fastest you can do is like 3 turns.
3 extra turns because it's 4, right? Oh, I guess you can do it once. I don't know.
You cast something. You bring something out on your turn that starts your engines. Okay, so you're at speed 1. On that same turn, you hit someone for 1 damage at least, whether it's a spell or a creature or you attack, doesn't matter. Now you're at speed 2. Next turn, do the same thing. Speed 3. Next turn, do the same thing. You're at max speed. So it's at least 3 turns, the fastest.
I am speed.
Right. But 3 turns, is not so bad. It's good early on if you can hit if you can get start your engines right like real early and do the damage consistently, like with like Pyrohemia or even a lightning bolt or something like that. Who cares, right? As long as you're doing the damage, it doesn't matter. It's just what are the benefits of getting max speed, right? So
yeah,
and I haven't really seen too many things that really, really, really blow my mind with max speed yet. So it's like kind of like a meh, right? Like I saw some builds for our Samu, and she needs max speed, and they're pretty good. So like they're really interesting, but
like I said,
once
though,
again, like I have to play around with it first.
But just this commander stuff is just out of the box cool. I'm gonna find someone who wants to sell this Nissa, and I'm gonna just build this Nissa as a commander because there's so many cool energy based things, and then you're not locked into only an energy theme with it. Your commander gives you something to do with the energy. I just like it.
Mm-hmm.
I also really like this artwork of Patty. And what is this artwork from?
Jumpstart.
Jumpstart.
Oh, man, it's cool. Please take us away.
Whose turn is it?
Yours.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Padim, Council of Innovations for 3 and a blue. It's a legendary creature, the Dalkin Artificer. It's a 1/4. Artifacts you control have hexproof. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control the artifact with the highest mana value or tied for the highest mana value, you draw a card. All I care about is hexproof, but we might get that card draw because we have 2 artifacts that are 6 costs. So you never know.
Mm-hmm. Next up here, we've got the Rampaging Aetherhood. 4 and a green for a 4/4 Snake Hydra with Trample and Ward 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get an amount of energy counters equal to this creature's power. Then you may pay 1 or more energy counters. If you do, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature.
Yeah, that's good.
Seems like a fun card, to be honest.
It's a lot stapled on it for 5 mana. A 4/4 with Trample, Ward 2. An energy generator and something that you can pay energy into a token or to get counters. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's also pretty good just in like a 1/1 counters deck. Yeah, I like that. Is it me right now?
Yes.
Robo Brain.
Yes, sir.
Warmind. 3 and a blue for a star 5 robot artifact creature. Power and toughness equal to the number of cards in your hand. Very cool. When it enters, you get an amount of energy equal to the number of artifact creatures you control. Also great for us. When it attacks, you can pay 3 if you do draw a card. Yeah, I like that.
It's an interesting card, so yeah.
Again, it's doing what we want to do. It's generating energy. It's giving us a potential draw, something to spend all this energy stockpile on.
Yeah, agreed. All right. We have a Royal Calligrapher for 1 in a blue. It's a Merfolk rogue. It's a 1/3. It has landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you get an energy. You can tap it and pay 6 energy to draw 3 cards.
Illegal pairing with that, Nissa.
I was just thinking that.
Illegal pairing with that, Nissa. Everyone knows that's happening. It's legendary. It has partner. Nissa has partner.
Let's go.
You gotta believe me. I'll probably build that deck for real.
Next up here, we've got the face commander from this deck. Saheeli, Radiant Creator. 1 and Teamer for a 4/4 legendary human artificer. Whenever you cast an artificer or artifact spell, you get an energy. Beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 3 energy. When you do, create a token that's a copy of target permanent you control, except it's a 5/5 artifact creature in addition to its other types and has haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Again, the
Copy of
the energy stuff just looks so cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Like you can make copies of any artifact, even if you want to make a copy of the 1/1 vehicle. It just becomes a 5/5 like artifact creature at that point in time, and it goes in for the attack. Like, who cares, right? Because you're getting rid of it anyways after in the end step.
Man, that's a cool card. Again, that's a cool card even without a commander deck built around it. I think I might order these commander decks too.
It seems like the commander sets seem really well built.
It's a beautiful card
at
too.
least really interesting cards.
Our next one we have here is a Psi Master Thopterist. 2 and a blue for 1/4 human artificer, legendary. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. 1 and a blue, sack 2 artifacts, draw a card, which is also another nice thing to use our little 1/1 flyers with.
Yep. The next card we have here is Senator Peacock for 3 double blue, legendary creature, human advisor. It's a 3/4. artifacts you control are clues in addition to their other types, and have tap 2 sacrifices artifact, draw a card. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, target creature can't be blocked this turn. That's the part that I care about.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed these commanders that came out with the little clue add-on.
Fair. I like the uniqueness of the different characters that they had.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Next one we've got here is the Stride Hanger Automaton. 3 mana for a 1/4 artifact creature construct. Thopters you control get +1/+1. If one or more artifact tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional an additional 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying are created instead.
That's really good.
It's like a parallel lives, but for Thopters.
That's very good. Honestly, I should make these cards that I'm seeing here are making me want to build, obviously, another Rego deck. Stride Hanger Automaton with it. We get our Psy Master Thopterist. We get our Padim. It's building itself right now.
Just make your own colorless version.
Yeah, there you go.
Colorless and mono
you don't
blue.
Need colors.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that go in Rego, we have Tetsuko Umezawa Fugitive. 1 in a blue for a 1/3 human rogue. Creatures you control with power or toughness 1 or less can't be blocked, which is rough. That is a rough ability to have on the battlefield. It oftentimes has to die.
No, it doesn't. You just make sure we're attacking you for only 1 damage. Just let it go.
Just buff your opponent's creatures and then you can block them.
That's true. You got to just make them stronger.
Mm-hmm.
The next card we have here is going to be the Motherlode Excavator for 3 double red. Legendary artifact creature robot. It's a 5/5. When it enters the battlefield, you choose target opponent. You get an amount of energy equal to the number of non-basic lands that player controls. We're in Commander. Everyone has non-basics. Hey. Whenever the Motherlode attacks, you may pay 4 energy. When you do, destroy target non-basic land defending player controls, and creatures that player controls without flying can't block this turn. That's a fun card.
That's great.
For 49 cents.
That's, again, it's doing exactly what we want. It's generating, it's bringing utility, and it's making us not be able to block. I don't like that. Yeah, that's very cool. Slothy, start us off with our enchantments.
Absolutely. Our first one here is Efficient Construction. It's 3 in a blue. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying.
Yeah. Good in this deck for sure. We have Era of Innovation. 1 in a blue. Whenever an artifact or artificer you control enters, you can pay 1 colorless. If you do, you get 2 energy. Pay 6 energy, sack it, and sack this enchantment, draw 3 cards. Not horrible. I wish this would have been an artifact.
It would make more sense if it was an artifact.
It seems that would make sense, you know? But
yeah, I don't know why, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
The next one is a fun card. It's going to be Goblin Bombardment. It's a 1 in a red. Oh, wait, I switched it up. Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah, no,
it's my turn. Yeah, it's a 1 in red. Enchantment. Sacrifice a creature. Goblin Bombardment deals 1 damage to any target. So we kind of want a sack outlet. I could have gone with an artifact sack outlet like the KCI, but that doesn't really fit in the budget.
Yeah, that's like a $50 card.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Like, let's find something else. And like, we're creating Thopters. We can make vehicles that become creatures. We can sacrifice them. You know, why not? Let's just do it this way.
Yeah.
So, but we do want a sack outlet of some sort for creatures, though.
Yeah, something there would be nice.
Yeah.
Next up here, we've got Thopter Spy Network. 2 double blue. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control an artifact, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. And whenever one or more artifact creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Yeah. The next card's brutal. You don't see it played very often, but it's really good. It's a high mana cost. Vicious Shadows. 6 and a red. It's an enchantment. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from play, this is anyone's creature. You may have Vicious Shadows deal damage to target player equal to the number of cards in that player's hand. This card kills me a lot because I constantly have a big old mid of hands, or a big old mid of cards in my hand, you know?
Yeah. I like using this card for politics. So it's like, like if Daniel is the problem, or or Slothy's the problem, be like, Daniel, let me attack you. Just kill my creature that's attacking you, and then Vicious Shadows will trigger, and then we can deal damage to Slothy's face instead. Because it doesn't have to be at at Daniel that I'm attacking. No, it's just like, Daniel, just help me out here. Slothy's the problem. We both know it. Let me attack you. Just kill my creature, and we deal damage to Slothy.
Yeah.
I might actually throw this one in my Valgavoth deck.
It's a really fun card. It's a 7 mana cost, which is the hard part.
Yeah.
That's it.
But it is very cool. Like there's a lot of decks that just go in. If you have a sack outlet, it's cool, but it also just turns a lot of things into a threat. Board wipe me, then you'll die.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got this in my Xeris deck for sure.
And this is also great for the defense, because if the person's attacking you and you have nothing but like 1/1 Thopters or like a vehicle that you can throw away when you turn into a creature, then they're going to be like, okay, how many cards do I have in hand? Do I have to cast things ahead of time before I attack so I don't take as much damage, because creatures will die? So like your opponent has like 5 cards in hand, let's say, which is common. Okay, they attack you with 2 creatures. All right, so at least 2 creatures can die. All right, that's 10 damage to that person.
Well, and then you start triple blocking and you blow them off the board.
Yeah. Right.
Vicious Shadows is one that kills me all the time. I always have too many cards in hand. I'm a simple man. I like options. We have our instant section. I don't usually have these. Access Denied is our first one. 3 double blue. You counter target spell. Create X 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying, where X is that spell's mana value. I like that, and I really like that artwork.
Yeah, it's fun, and I want more Thopters. So hey. Next card is Beast Within for 2 and a green. Destroy target permanent is controller creature 3/3 green beast creature token. You can destroy one of your vehicles. It's fine.
You can also destroy your opponent's
Only a 1/1
lands.
vehicle. They can. We have the other card there, the Mother Lode Excavator. That's fine.
It's true.
Repetition makes things go around.
Yeah, right.
We got our Chaos Warp next. 2 in a red. The owner of player permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of their library. If it's a permanent card, they put it on the battlefield.
I was just thinking to myself,
once again,
what would the game?
Have vehicles.
I was just gonna say, what would the game be like if I played interaction? You always have a nice section. The first 3 all so useful, all well thought out. They're token generators. They're getting around indestructible. They're cool counter spells. Me, get it out. You have an Electro
I'll change you
Siphon.
one day.
One day, but not today. Electro Siphon, double blue and a red. Counter target spell, you get an amount of mana equal, or an amount of energy counters equal to its mana value. That's cool.
We got one of my favorite cards, Frantic Surge for 2 and a blue. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards, untap 3 lands. Always good.
Yeah.
Next up is a Galvanic Discharge. Single red. You can choose target creature or planeswalker. You get 3 energy counters, then you may pay any amount of energy. And Galvanic Discharge deals that much damage to that permanent.
Yeah.
Chances are we probably won't kill anything, but
Yeah.
just because the 3 energy.
3 energy for 1 mana. Yeah.
Yeah, the generation's good. And again, a late game. It's a late game, maybe blow someone off the board.
It's creature own planeswalker only, though.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To that permanent. Okay. Well, that's I hate your commander in general card.
Yeah.
We have a Glimmer of Genius, 3 and a blue. Scry 2, draw 2. You get 2 energy counters.
That's how I feel whenever I see you play a single instant.
The Glimmer of Genius, that's all of my 2 brain cells just like whirling around. You see like the lights behind my eyes.
A little bit of smoke.
True.
There you go.
You can smell the dust because it hasn't been going for a while and stuff.
We have hardness lightning for 1 in a red. Choose target creature. You get 3 energy. Then you may pay any amount of energy. Hardness lightning deals that much damage to that creature. Whether we do kill that creature or not, we don't care. We really like the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we've got Machine Over Matter, 1 in a blue. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control an artifact creature, and you can return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Good way to interact with something, or maybe get another energy ETB.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it. A pull from tomorrow. X double blue. Draw X cards. Discard a card.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. Then our last instant here is Tune the Narrative for 1 blue. Draw a card and you get 2 energy.
Solid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Again, I like a lot of these 1 mana energy generators,
Yeah, they're fantastic.
You have in your land, you have an Aether Hub, which when it enters, you get an energy, and you can pay energy for mana of any color or colorless. Just going through here.
There's also a Helios 1, which is also an energy creator and a removal spell if need be.
I'll read it out, Slothy.
Yeah, read what it does. Why are you keeping us in suspense?
Oh, just for dramatic effect. You can tap it for colorless. 1 and tap it, you get an energy. 3 and tap it, you can pay X energy and sacrifice it to destroy target non-land permanent with mana value X. Activate only as a sorcery.
Fun times.
I think, we've got a Rogue's Passage in here. Okay, we've got 2 Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
I'll start us off here. We have Karn, Scion of Urza. 4 colorless, 5 loyalty Planeswalker Karn. +1, reveal the top 2 cards of the library. An opponent chooses one of them. 1 into your hand and the other into exile with a silver counter on it. -1, put a card you own with a silver counter on it from exile into your hand. Cool. -2, you create a 0/0 colorless construct creature token. With this creature gets 1/1 for each artifact you control. Pretty good.
Hopefully, the constructs will be big because you keep on making the assembly line of vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even really.
It's going to be big.
Really quickly, I didn't even consider this for the earlier one. I just scrolled back up to this Aetheric Amplifier. But you can double the number of each kind of counter on target permanent, so you can double Planeswalker alts.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you can get them like into alt range like immediately. Just like a doubling
it's sort
season
of like,
kind of thing.
It's sort of like the card Resourceful Defense.
Yep.
So like it allows you to move counters from one permanent to another. So and it's in white. So like you can use that to like literally alter the Planeswalker if need be, right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I think that's a little bit of an expensive card. I think that's like a $7 or $8 card.
That's worth though, especially in this list. It's very worthwhile.
Yeah. So the next card here is going to be Saheeli, Sublime Artificer for 1 in a hybrid Is it Legendary Planeswalker Saheeli. It comes in with 5 loyalty. It has a passive ability. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless serval artifact creature token. For -2, target artifact you control becomes a copy of another target artifact or creature you control until end of turn, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types.
I like that. That's very cool to be able to, again, you can late game be real problematic with something, even like that thing we just talked about. You have, let's say, just a ton of mana sitting around. You could like double your counters 5 or 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fun time.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. I really like this. The Saheeli has a lot of utility in it too. I always just run it. I just always run it in like Niv Mizzet style draw decks because I'm already just casting non-creature brainstorm, like portent, those kind of things. And I use it as a token generator. I very rarely actually use its minus. I love the War of the Spark Planeswalkers.
Yeah, those ones are real good.
We have our sorcery. I believe this is our last one.
Yeah.
Start us off, Slothy.
Second last. I have a surprise at the end.
Okay, all right.
We've got Attune with Ether. Single green. You can search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle. You get 2 energy counters.
That's for sure going in my illegal deck. Worst case scenario, I'm just going to make that deck Tatiova. Tatiova will just be my alternate commander, and then I'll just target anyone who won't let me have fun.
Fair.
We have a Blasphemous Act next. 8 and a red. 1 less for each creature on the battlefield. I don't think I've ever seen Blasphemous Act cast for more than 1 mana.
Nor should you ever.
Yeah. Can you imagine just blast acting like 3 creatures on the board? Paying 6 for it?
I see your Blightsteel Colossus is the only thing here. I will pay 8 mana to get rid of that.
I'm here to teach a lesson, not remove creatures. 13 damage to each creature on the battlefield. Did this get reprinted in the Innistrad Remastered?
Sorry?
Did this get a reprint in the Innistrad Remastered thing? Was it?
No.
It's got the Avacyn logo on it. It should have. Really should have. Okay.
Next one, we do have a Cultivate for 2 and a green. Search your library for up 2 basic land cards, reveal those cards, put 1 on the battlefield, tap, and the other one in your hand, and shuffle.
Yeah.
We need that land ramp.
Well, you've got a great ramp section here. We've got Farseek as well. 1 and a green, search your library for plains, island, swamp, or mountain, put it onto the battlefield, tap, shuffle.
Yep.
I think it's you, Sherman.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I did Cultivate, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, all right. Well,
Dan stole Farseek. So it's.
Oh, is it you?
Oh.
Well, all right. Well, Slothy, you go now.
Sure. Harvest Season. 2 and a green. You can search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the number of tapped creatures you control, and put those cards onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library.
So this is an overachiever in this deck because we have vehicles. So because of that, you actually have to know how many basics you have in the deck. So, and you go from there. So we have 21 basics in the deck. So when we want to cast this, we're like, okay, we have at least 1 vehicle. All right, how many basics do we have? How many creatures do we have? We want to make sure we don't tap too many, but like we can tap like 8 creatures to crew 1 vehicle if need be.
Yep.
Right. And then cast Harvest Season and then pull out 8 lands. So this is a crazy card in this deck.
Yeah.
All right. Next card here. It's going to be Hour of Devastation for 3 double red. All creatures lose indestructibility until end of turn. Hour of Devastation deals 5 damage to each creature and each non-bolus planeswalker. So it will hurt our planeswalkers too, but I don't care.
Amazing stuff from when the Magic story was still good.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. One of the story spotlight cards. It's a very, very cool to remove indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. A solid board wipe. We have our Kodama's Reach, 2 and a blue. Search the library for up to 2 basic lands. Reveal them 1 to the battlefield, 1 to your hand tapped. Shuffle.
We've got a Rise and Shine, 1 and a blue. Target artifact creature you or target non-creature artifact, you control becomes a 0/0 artifact creature. Put it 4+1/+1 counters on each artifact that became a creature this way, and it has overload for 4 double blue. This card's a powerhouse.
I've only ever used this card to end the game. Every time I've cast it, I've killed someone.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never noticed that it's not until end of turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have to be careful with that.
Yeah, your vehicles are now just like permanently 4/4s, which is awesome.
Yeah. That's another reason why we don't care that they're 1/1s. We just want to pump them out as much as we can because they're being used as resources for now.
Yeah, like I always
we can make them into creatures.
Oh, I was saying I always use Rise and Shine to end the game. Like the game is done when Rise and Shine comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this is a game ender in this deck, right? Because like if we have like 10 vehicles, and we're swinging wide, each of them are 4/4s. Yeah, it's gonna hurt.
Well, and they're all flyers too, right? So that's a scary board to deal with now.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Like since they stay like that way, and they're not until end of turn. This next card actually helps us quite a bit.
Yeah.
So that's Shamanic Revelations for 3 double green sorcery. Draw a card for each creature you control. It has Ferocious. You gain 4 life for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. Yay!
Secret tech.
There's a lot of synergy behind this deck. Things affect something else in a weird way. So, but yeah, that's the last section. Technically, I have decided to start including a maybe board because of last time. People want to, like, when we do budget brews, people want to see what we would include.
Yeah, some extra upgrades if you had.
Yeah. Or we put in certain things that people were like, I don't really feel that. So I decided to make it only up to 10. Some of them are fun. Some of them are, would, power up the deck quite a bit. So we have another 10 cards here.
Really quickly, I just looked up the budget of the deck being $129. That's great. Very solid.
Yeah.
It's energy efficient.
Really it is energy efficient. It's environmentally friendly.
All right, tell people your baby board. I'll stop being who I am. Oh. Yeah, take us away with your maybe board here. I'll start us. Champion of Lampolt. Great. 1 double green. It's a 1/1. Creatures with power less than it can't block creatures you control, which is cool. And whenever another creature enters, you put a 1/1 on it. Again, a great way to just smash through people.
Yeah. And it gets big just because we're making the Thothers from time to time. So
another absolute powerhouse card that I love. Cyberdrive Awakener, 5 and a blue for a 4/4 artifact creature construct with flying. Other artifact creatures you control have flying. When Cyberdrive Awakener enters the battlefield until end of turn, each non-creature artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with base power toughness 4/4.
Once again, another game ender because hopefully we'll have a lot of vehicles by then.
Yeah.
The next one is False Floor for 4 mana. It's an artifact. False Floor enters the battlefield tapped. Creatures enter the battlefield tapped, which is annoying. Okay. You can tap 2 and tap it. Exile False Floor. Exile all untapped creatures. Activate only as a sorcery. Hey, guess what? We're playing with vehicles. We can tap as many creatures as we want to crew a vehicle. All of our stuff will be safe. This is a one-sided board wipe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great inclusion for a power up. And they have to they have to try and remove it. So if they have something that's artifact removal, it has to go to this. Otherwise, they're losing their whole field, like you said.
Yeah. The only reason why this isn't a maybe board is just because it is slow.
That's fair. We have the Mech Titan Core, 2 mana for a 2/4 vehicle. You pay 5, exile Mech Titan Core and 4 other artifact creatures and or vehicles you control, which is easy for us. Create Mech Titan. It's Megazord, a legendary 10/10 construct artifact creature token with flying, vigilance, trample, lifelink, and haste. That's all colors. When that token leaves the battlefield, return all cards exiled with Mech Titan Core except Mech Titan Core to the battlefield tapped under their owner's control, and crew 2.
Yeah. So we can sacrifice the vehicles that we're making from our commander. And our commander can still crew this because our Pia is a power of 2.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we've got Meekstone, 1 mana artifact. Creatures with power 3 or greater don't untap during their controller's untap steps.
Yeah.
Regal staple, right, Daniel?
Regal staple. I like anything that like locks down the bigger creatures. It's very, very cool to have a deck play out this way. The Thopters, like your flyers being 1/1 is your main thing that you're going for. There's no problem with getting them through.
Yeah. And even if we want to make something big, like we have our vertebrate, right? We crew it, it attacks. Let's say it's like a 10 power, no problem. It becomes an artifact in an untapped turn or untapped step because it's not a creature anymore. So we don't care. So people are going to have problems against things like this.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, the fact that your vehicles just aren't affected.
The next card is an oldie. Yeah. The next one is an oldie. It's Mudslide for 2 in a red. It's an enchantment. When creatures without flying do not untap during their controller's untap phase. At the end of his or her upkeep, each player may pay an additional 2 mana per creature to untap a creature without flying he or she controls.
That's a rough card.
Mm-hmm.
You have
it's quite stacked, but yeah.
It's I like it. You have your quest for renewal, 1 in a green. Whenever a creature you control becomes tapped, which is the whole deck, you may put a quest counter on it. As long as there's 4 or more, you untap all creatures you control during each other player's untap step, which is wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Then we've got Throne of the God Pharaoh. It is a 2 mana legendary artifact. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life equal to the number of tapped creatures you control.
This is a dangerous card because if you have, let's say, like 10 creatures out, which is not bad, right? You can tap all 10 of those creatures to a vehicle, and everyone takes 10 just like that.
Yep.
So it's a dangerous card. But at the same time, like, your defenses are basically lowered, so you got to be careful with that.
That's fair.
The next card here is Urza, Lord High Artificer for 2 double blue. Legendary creature, human artificer, 1/4. When he enters the battlefield, you create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. You can tap an untapped artifact you control to add a blue. And you tap 5 and shuffle your library, then exile the top card. Until end of turn, you may play that card without paying its mana cost.
Expensive Jaheira.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Yeah, like it's such a great card here just because, once again, like, we're making the vehicles, so yeah, we're trying to use them as a resource.
True. Your last one on the list here, and then I have one that I have to recommend before we go, is Whirler Virtuoso. It's 1/1 blue, 1 red for a 2/3. When it enters, you get 3 energy counters, which is great. And then you pay 3, you create a 1/1 colorless Thopter with flying. That's a great sync for it.
Yeah. So the only reason why this card is in the maybe board is because if it's in the main deck, we have an infinite combo.
Oh,
So, because if we have that along with
I
was
guess
it
you have a bunch that are whenever an artifact enters or a creature enters, you get energy. So you can just be like, I get a
yeah,
Thopter, I get energy. I get a Thopter, I get energy, and you can infinite Thopters.
I get 3 energy, I get yeah. So it just generates infinite, right? And
Yeah.
then like I have things like Goblin Bombardment. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see that. Mine that I was going to suggest is Aether Grid, Jirper Aether Grid. It's an enchantment. It's 2
Yeah.
and a red. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control, 1 damage to target creature or player. Again, just another use for all your vehicles that you're amassing.
I considered that quite a bit, along with things like Reckless Fireweaver, which is in the pre-con. I decided to take those out because that makes me too big of a target.
Well, there's so many directions you can go, right? The fact you have access to green, you can easily go into like a more, if you really want to like high budget it, you can easily throw in doubling season parallel lives and like make way more tokens and stuff.
Yeah.
I just tend to also not really put those in lately. I have enough decks that run them, you know?
Yeah. Like when I had that in the deck, I was considering doing nothing but tap and untap shenanigans. So Seaborn Muse, Unwinding Clock, things like that.
Yeah.
So because like your ability to do that every single turn pretty much is insane. That's why Quest for Renewal's in there, right? Because we can drop the Quest for Renewal and right off the bat tap 4 creatures to put in the 4 quest counters and we get it right away. The problem is when you do tap and untap shenanigans, you become a huge target. So anytime someone puts out Unwinding Clock, oh great, someone wants to take it out. Every time you play a Seaborn Muse, oh great, if someone takes it out. It's nice to have when it survives, but the chances of survival are slim to like none
Yeah.
whenever someone sees it. So it's like, okay, if I'm not going in that direction, I might as well go in a different direction than doing that because I could put in like things like Shao Jun as well, where I tap 2 artifact and deal 1 damage to every opponent.
I love that. That's a
right?
really cool deck you have.
Yeah, but when I do stuff like that, I need those cards like Unwinding Clock and everything, and then I become the target, and then I just get wiped out, and I don't want that. I want to build my factory. I want to build these vehicles. I want to try to sell these vehicles to you.
I really like you built this deck in what I think is a responsible way. It's fun. It's got like good synergy throughout the deck for sure. But I'm too like caught up on the fact that I like to make puns of deck names. So because it's an energy based one, would make a stacks deck with this and call it my carbon tax deck. It's like I would not be a good person with this deck. I would be like, yeah, but we're all paying for it, We're in this together. But no, I really like this deck. A budget of $129 is great. It has so much synergy like with itself. Like just going through the list, you are stockpiling so much energy. There's so many cards that are so explosive just out of the blue to get. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think this will be a fun deck. Like when the set comes out and I get the precons, like I'm gonna try to build it just because once again, like I haven't had a vehicle deck for a while. Like I have the occasional one here, like one vehicle here and there and whatnot, or 2 vehicles, but I've never had a dedicated vehicle deck in a while. So this is a nice change for me.
Yeah.
And I've never played with energy before in Commander. So once again, it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like it. Slothy, you got any closing comments on it?
No, I really enjoy it. I'm excited to see how it plays out. I have been growing more and more fond of both vehicles and energy over the last couple of years, now that there's actually a little bit of support for it. So yeah, I think kind of like Dan was saying, you built this deck very well. There's a lot of stockpiling of your energy to do what you want to do. There's interaction. There's multiple use cases for a lot of the vehicles that you're making with things like Jahira and whatnot. And yeah, overall, I really like how you build in general, and this is just kind of keeping with that trend.
The my final thing I was going to say on it too is the deck has a lot that does the same thing, a lot of redundancy, but it has a lot of very different play paths. There, like it's you're not stuck doing one thing, right? Like you can use your energy very, very differently. Again, you could play this as your straight 1/1 Thopter deck. You could make them big, huge, like 10/10 flying Thopters another game. Like there's a lot of ways to use it. You could again like go like the beasts route. You can go the I'm gonna try and like shock people with it. Like I really, really like this. I like the utility, like the not utility, the
Versatility.
Versatility. That's the word. Something with utility.
Yeah, we want you guys know me. I don't like having just one game plan. I like having like several. If you destroy one game plan, fine. What's my next game plan? What are my lines for the deck where I can win? If I only have one, the deck is gonna suck, or it's a glass canyon. One of the two, right? I need to have multiple ways of winning, and this does that. So some of them take more setup. Some of them take like a dozen cards. Some of them only take like 2 cards, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I am a very big fan of this one.
I have nothing else to add.
Yeah, let me roll my bam. Thank you guys so much for getting through another one. If you like this, as I said in the beginning, you should like, share, and subscribe. It really helps people notice it, come hang out. If you want to chat and build decks with us, like on a more personal level, come over to Patreon. We've got lots of cool people on Patreon, and I appreciate their support wonderfully. So thank you guys so much who have supported the show. And again, you can support it for free by like, share, subscribe. It really does help out. Go to housecards.ca for any of your cards, especially that new doubling one. That's a very, very cool card. I probably have to order a few of those and put these decks in AI armor sleeves. That's it. That's all I have to say on it. This deck looks wonderful. I got nothing else to say. I have to conserve my energy. That's it. You guys can all leave. You can turn the episode off now. I promise. There's nothing else. All right, now that the song's here, the real deck tech begins. We're putting in blight steals. We're making blight. Everyone have a good week.
Talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.
But I want the stacks. Come on.
The carbon tax. Maybe a carbon tax version. Sherman, you're clever.
Stacks the tax.
Bye-bye.